What is up, guys and girls? This is Damien from Pause at Will, coming to you with today for the red-blue Alice Valkyrie deck. Yeah, we're running the red-blue version, prefer over the blue-green, sorry, and it's working out very nicely. So we start off with the Derula side. To activate, it's a blue and 1, so a 2 cost. She also has a second effect where you can tap her and search for the Phantom Board Regalia, add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Obviously, you're going to play that straight away. And yeah, like I said, 2 cost to activate, 1 and 1 blue, and then she becomes Alice, the Valkyrie of the Fairy Tales. She's a nice 1k, so we're keeping that sort of stack booty going. When she enters the field, you can search your main deck for a Fairy Tale Resonator. You put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. Obviously, you search for your Cindy's or your Snow Whites. Her second effect is that counters on Fairy Tales cannot be removed by their effects, so that's good combo play later on. Her God Art is obviously pay 1 blue, 1 red, and then as many as you want, and you deal 500 damage to target Resonators, and you can pay 1 extra, and it's pop, 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 pop. So it's a great ruler, a very nice one for the new set. I rate this well over the blue-green version, but yeah, we'll move on with that. So that's the J ruler. We'll start off with stones this time. It's a pretty standard looking stone setup. So we play 4 of the blue-red, just because we're playing the blue-red deck, and it'd be stupid not to. On top of that, we play 3 of the blue, and then we played 2 red and a little red, the pure stone. More than often you are going to call red from this because reds are your boss monsters and things like that, but if you get stuck, obviously you might always grab your blue. You can play a blue. Pretty standard stone setup, don't really think it needs any more questioning. Right, we'll move on to the resis. So we play 1, 2, 3, 4. This is Alice's little assault force. It's a nice 1-drop red, 300, 300. Doesn't do anything on the field, but when it is in the grave, and I will read this correctly for you guys, you can banish this card. This card deals 200 damage to target player or Resonator. Nice to burn at your opponent, or if there's something on the board you want to clear off, that's your guy. Next we play 1, 2, 3, 4 of Alice's Little Scout. Again, a nice blue 1-drop, so you don't get stuck. It's a 200-200, a little softer than the red, but when it enters the field, you get to draw a card. Sorry, when it leaves the field, you get to draw a card. I'm an idiot. Again, nice little blue 1-drop, especially for this deck. Next, we're playing on to the 2-drops already. We play 1, 2, 3 of the Squire of the Ocean Lady. It's a 400-400, your sort of standard 2-drop. The effect reads, when this card enters your field, you draw a card. A lot of draw power in this deck. It's nice to keep things in hand, although we're not playing Valentina. Your next 2-drop is another blue, and we play 1, 2 of the Cindy. Now, Cindy is a nice one. She's more of your defensive drop, and this one reads, when this card enters your field, put a glass counter on it. The card gains plus 600 attack as long as you have a glass counter on it. Whenever this card deals damage, you remove that glass counter. Another nice thing with this is you can pay 2 blue, return it to your hand, play it again, just, you know, after your recovery phase, get your glass counters back on it. Again, with Alice's effect, those glass counters don't go. Next, we play the big booty, which is 4 Snow White, the Valkyrie of Passion. This is a lovely, lovely card, and it has swiftness and first strike, so it's very nice. Whenever this card attacks, you put a passion counter on it. Whenever this card attacks, it may deal 300 damage to target Resonator for each passion counter on it. If it does, remove all its passion counters. Now with this item, we're basically working on the effect that, again, those passion counters are not removed. So you're continually burning, you're continually setting up those plays. And also, it's quite nice in the fact that the attack ratio is when you attack. So if anyone questions that, it's before blockers are declared. Now we're moving on to the spells, or instant chance, my bad. So basically, we start off with 3 of the Jewel of Truth. Again, Jewel of Truth is a very nice card. It's a 1-drop. You can use it from Alice. You could use it from, you know, Snow White. She's gonna have that 800, or even, you know, Snow White. Snow White and Cindy. Either way, you're gonna use it. It's a good card. You know what it does. Next, we move on to the next red spell, which is we are running standard sort of red stuff. 4 thunders. You know what it does. Deal 500 damage. Target player. Target Resonator. Got some blue spells for you now. These are the 2 drops. So we're playing 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to get this right because I always spell it wrong, but it's Alice's Castling. Ugh. Another nice little card. Again, it only costs, sorry, it costs 1. I'm an idiot. Put target Resonator you control from the bottom of your owner's main deck. Sorry, put target Resonator you control on the bottom of its owner's main deck. If you do, you may put a Resonator with the same total cost from your hand into the field, and you draw a card. With this, it's quite nice. If you have a J-activated Alice, and you've got, you know, a Snow White on the board, and you've got another Snow White in hand, swapping across, you know, that's not the best play. You really want to be doing it with Cinderella. You want to be getting Cinderella down, using her to block or attack, you know, she loses that counter, rather paying 2 to get it back. You pay 1, you put her in the deck, you kind of refill the deck, and then you obviously get to play another one with the counter. So we're now moving on to the 2 drops. We start off with the 2 red, which is, I mean, no, Valkyrie. And this was a nice little addition suggested to me by a friend. Basically, it is an equip spell. Now, added Resonator gets plus 400 per 400, so if we add this to Snow White, we're getting a very nice, you know, boost in the stats there. She's going up to a 900, 1100, and also then we want the second effect. So, whenever this added Resonator deals damage to a Resonator your opponent controls, the card deals that much damage to the Resonator's controller. So obviously, you're doing a little bit of burn damage, you're also then dealing damage over and over. It's a great addition. It kind of just buffs her up as well, and also she's dealing damage, so when you're, you know, attacking, that's 1 set of damage. When you're using her burn effect, that's another set of damage, so actually you're doubling damage up, and it's a nice way to just keep whacking and whacking and whacking away. The next card we play is a 2-drop blue. Now this is simply a tech-in. A lot of people won't play this. I just want that draw power as well, just to make sure I've got those Valkyries in hand. It's simply play blue, 2 blue, draw 2 cards. Simple as. The next card we play is now starting in the 3s. We're going to play 2 of them. It's Flame King Shout. Now a lot of people don't like this card and a lot of people do not play it, but you play a little combo again with Snow White. Now Snow White costs the same as this, but this excuse me, this card deals, I'm going to get this right, this card deals 400 damage to each Resonator your opponent controls. You then may put into play a fire Resonator with a total cost of 3 or less from your hand. It gains swiftness until the end of the turn. Obviously Snow White already has swiftness, doesn't really matter on that, but this is great because you're dealing that damage and then you're bringing her out at the same cost. This should probably run at 3, but I'm running at that 2-3 ratio because more than likely you will play a Snow White before you see this. Now that is all the Resonators and spells, chants, whatever you want to call them. We're now going to move on to some Regalia. These lovely, lovely, lovely Regalia. Now this is the standard for Alice in this set. It is the deep blue, the Phantom board. Now, we run forward this simply because it is aimed at Alice. It is, the first effect is, you can pay 1 blue and you can produce red or green. Obviously, it's if you want to tech in the 3 colours for either Alice, and it's a great little addition. You can pay 2 and tap this. You can search your main deck for a soldier Resonator with a total cost of 1. Reveal it, put it in your hand. If your J-Ruler is Alice, the Girl of the Looking Glass, Alice the Saint of Healing, or Alice the Valkyrie of Fairy Tales, you may put it into your field instead, then shuffle your deck. It's not the greatest of cards. Effects. You are paying 2 to get out a 1-drop soldier. It does fix your hand if you obviously have something big and you're like, oh, I don't really want to be playing that, or a bit of a combo play turn 5, you get your Flame King Shout, and maybe an Alice's little scout on board. It's a nice little addition. And then again, it has the same sort of effect as most of the old Regalia, where you can discard it and you can produce a red, blue, or green. And finally, for the number 39 and number 40 cards in the deck, we are playing... I'm not going to pronounce that, so the Red Binding of Fire. Now, obviously this is aimed at Valentina, but we have a nice little combo to do with this as well. If your J-Reeler deals damage in any way, you get to draw a card, always a plus, and also you can tap it, we are going to read that correctly. You can tap it, target J Resonator your opponent controls, They gain this turn. This card must block if able. If your J ruler is Valentina, the Princess of Love, or Valentina, the ruler of Paradise, you can recover that J Resonator. I suppose it's to stop target attacks and things like that, but also if you want to do a cheeky burn with Valkyrie and Snow White, you obviously can just go, right, that one's got to block this turn, you've got no choice. Deal the damage, kill the weenie, buff, 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 buff. It's all good. You can discard another one of these to draw a card. Essentially, you probably wouldn't want to discard for the draw. You probably want these on board, you know, tap, that, whatever you want to do, basically. You want to stop those big things knocking off your board. So that's the deck. It's very nice so far. It is the first stack we put together, but it does play very well. At this point in time, I would probably suggest some little tech-ins, and I want to give some honourable mentions. Now, we have this card, which is Alice's Little Guardian. It's the green 1-drop that kind of goes well with this deck. Now, you could tech this in. It's, again, like I said, it's a nice little card. The effect of it reads, you can banish this card, prevent all damage that will be dealt by target Resonator until the end of turn. So you can drop this quite late on if you've got something big and you don't really want to take that damage while you're setting up plays or anything. You know, get rid of it, all good. You could take this in without worrying about green mana if you're able to get your Regalia, just simply because you can pay 1 blue and you can play this then instead. It's a very optional card. Personally, I just don't want to play it. I prefer to stick to the old red-blue build. But yeah, it's still a good card, and I think people should have a look at it. And another honourable mention is this. This is Realm of the Pure Spirits. Now, you've probably seen this before. It's a really annoying card. The effect reads as the following. It's a continuous effect, and recovered resonators you control cannot be targeted by spells, abilities your opponent controls. So, if you want to wait for a while, a lot of people will be playing green this format, but on board it means if you're not swinging, you're waiting for those combo plays to pick up. This is a great little tech in. Again, you'd have to play white, but a lot of people are playing Percival's just simply because he's a 1-drop, he can stop damage for the turn, just like the Little Guardian, and also it means you're able to search for Regalia a bit quicker as well. There is a lot of drawing and shuffling in this deck, so you know you're not always worried about stacking if that's an issue. So yeah guys, that's the version 1 build of Alice. Now, if you have any suggestions, if you feel this may be optimized in any way, shape or form, or you would just like to have a little bit of a discussion about it, leave some comments below, and we will obviously take time and try and reply to as many of you as possible. We will have more deck profiles coming your way. Hopefully we should have some more coming in the next week. We're going to try and get one for each ruler go, and there are a lot of people asking some questions and not seeing much going on. So I will leave you with that. Remember to like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you soon here at Pause at Will. Take care.